So good morning ladies and gentlemen, how are you? So introducing myself, I am Mauli, final year student of mechanical department from MVGR College of Engineering. Today I am here to give a talk in MVGRTalks regarding space exploration. So are you excited? So the first question I would like to ask you is, what is space? Can anybody define? ఏదన్నా పర్లేదు. Fly in air. Okay. Any other answers? So the name space. Have you ever thought like what is space like that? If anybody asks a question, so have you ever thought what is that word? So that kind of questioning is very much important in this world. So firstly, we need to question what is space. So here right now I am standing in front of you. So here I am standing in space. Okay, this building is in space, but we are in still condition. Okay, the real meaning and exact technical term of space is anything that is consisting inside the object, but the exact meaning of space is the space, sorry, the area that is confined with the objects along with vacuum and in all the other objects. So and one more object is in the space it consists of many objects. The main thing that matters is matter. Okay, so everything is made up of matter. For example, I am standing in front of you and I am a human body and my skin is made up of matter. This watch is made up of matter, and in space there is matter. The matter is filled with asteroids, comets, and planets and stars, etc. So coming to matter of space, space include so many objects like stars, planets, asteroids, comets and all. These things are explained in first standard or second standard. So I am going to the next level. So do you know, so one more question is, how many of you say that space is beautiful? Okay, why? So is it beautiful? Have you seen it? So not from the images we get from NASA and all. So have you seen it in the real space? So yeah, stars are beautiful if we see from Earth, but if once we get into the outer stratosphere, so we don't find that beautiful. So I can give you an example. Have you ever seen in a movie called Interstellar? Anybody here? Interstellar? Yeah. So that's a fantastic movie, and I will recommend everybody to watch that movie immediately after you going home. Okay. So if you see that movie, you'll get to know that. Imagine that you are the only human on Earth. Nobody is with you. No building is there except you and the rocks and all. So do you find Earth is beautiful? Sometimes we all want peace. So we want nature. We'll go to the mountains and we feel like staying alone to get peaceful. But imagine staying alone for much longer time. So you don't feel beautiful, no? In the same way, space really is not beautiful. But I won't say that. I think that space is beautiful because I like it and it fascinates me every time I go. But if you see here, this is the explosion of a star, and it releases massive amount of heat. And the heat is way more than the heat that comes from in the summer. Now we are experiencing 44 degrees heat. That is nowhere related to that heat. So once you go into the space, so you will get to you'll encounter with the massive star explosions, and you'll encounter with one most aspect is that loneliness. Nobody is with you. You are the only human, and you can't breathe even. Without this spacesuit, you can't breathe even. And here, the one more reason for sunlight is that diffraction. You know, the light we get from sun, it get diffracted from the molecules, and we can see everything. That trees and the color of my shirt, everything is the reason, is the product of diffraction only. But if we go to space now, you don't find atmosphere there. So you don't see everything as you see from the earth. And the images you see these two images I have placed here, these are the images that made from that the NASA is released. Okay, but what NASA does is, after they gather the entire data, they'll redefine the data using few softwares and they'll release to us to make us understand about how it looks like. But in reality, space doesn't look like this. So it is horrifying and it is very much dangerous to be in space. But as a space enthusiast, we shouldn't say that. Okay. So the question is done. So what is space? So everybody got to know that what is space, no? Space is nothing but it is a place where something is existing. Without if there is nothing, I think there is no object or no place like nothing in the world. Everything has some space and matter in it. In the same way, space also has some matter, that is either this planet or stars or sun. Like so, every year annually, and ISRO and NASA and the European Space Agency, they are spending lots of billions of amounts in space exploration. So the question is, beside this poverty in India and poverty in the world, and there are so many problems like Russia-Ukraine war, or people are even fighting for the land here. Then instead of these all problems, why people are investing so much in space? So can anybody answer this?
So many solutions. Yes. What we are facing here, so many problems, you get solutions there, like fear.
Yes, sir.
So many reserves are there, and it can be used for fuel as well as it can be used for nuclear, radioactive things, and space availability, and any new life existing. So many. Moreover, above all this, the wars.
Yes.
The future will be space wars.
Yes.
The wars from space.
So exactly. So for anything we need a purpose to do, right? So I am standing here to make you knowledgeful or give some insight to you. So there is a purpose for everything. So I am studying because to feed my family in the future, and to make my parents proud in that way. So we also have a space exploration have purpose. So the purpose of space exploration is, see, humans basically are explorers. We question everything, right? If I leave you in a small place, in a dark room for 1 week, so what you will do? You will try to explore ways to get out, some way or the other. You don't sit idly and sleep all the 7 days. So in the same way, there is vast amount of space left outside the earth, outside our atmosphere, and there is so much of space to explore. So our humans simply can't leave that in an ideal way. So our DNA pushes us to explore the space, because the space we are living in is 0.001% of entire universe here. So we don't know exactly how much span the universe is. So we are in the 0.001%, and our basic DNA is to explore the things. So there is so much to explore, so we can't sit ideally, and it's in our basic DNA to explore. And space is our playground, so we can go and explore how much far we can. Our ultimate goal is there are actually 3 key goals that I am mentioning here. First one is to explore our universe. As sir mentioned, we need resources. So we need so much of extra. We are made up of chemicals. We are made up of some humans are born by star explosion only. So in that way, there are so many things left outside this space. So those are useful. The technology that have the materials we can't find in Earth, those all are available in space. So that is exploring our universe is first goal. Second goal is to find an alternate home. So how many of you think that Earth will sustain for coming 100 years? So it's after a few years, definitely we need to find other home, or we will find other way to live on Earth. So instead, our scientists, like so my favorite Elon Musk is planning to colonize Mars. In that same way, now I'm not telling about Mars only, but we can find other alternate home, and scientists are already in the way to search for exoplanets. So there are so many exoplanets like Kepler B, so which are almost similar like Earth. Earth is in the habitable zone. So that is where people can live. In the same way, there are so many other exoplanets around the space where there are chances of people living. So to find an alternate home is second goal. Third one is, this is the most important and my favorite, to find meaning of life. So the reason the humankind is born is unknown. Nobody knows it. So can anybody answer this meaning of life? Why we are born and why this system is running? The birth of first human, how it happened? Nobody knows this question. Even Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking wrote the brief history of time, but he also unable to explain what is the purpose of our birth. So many of the scientists believe that Big Bang happened long ago and that led to the birth of humans and all. So I also believe the same thing, but out of a sudden some star explodes and it gives birth, it led to the birth of humans. So why this all happens? The question why is very much important. So one of my favorite book is Start With Why, which is written by Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek is a great million best-selling author. He wrote a book called Start With Why. So in any task you do, first you have to question yourself why you are doing this, why you are studying, why you are attending here, why you attend an event, why you give a speech. So in everything there is a question called why. So in that way we need to find why we are born. So that is the ultimate goal of every human, but nobody focuses on it. We fight for the food, we fight for small things like I want this watch, I want the first bench, I want window seat in the bus, but nobody will think about why we are born here. So what is the reason? So there are many few people who really has that enthusiasm to find what's there in space. So coming to where we are exactly now. So I'm talking about the space exploration and all. It costs $1 billion of money and so many lives also, and it needs very great minds to design and plan such events. So I am taking this as a project. We all do projects, no? In first year to final year, we all have projects, mini projects and all. In every project there is two main concepts. First one is experiment, and in every experiment we get the results. So our aim is to explore the universe. So in that way, if I take this as a project, so our experiment is there are many objectives to this experiment, to this project. The objectives are to know the universe, exactly how earlier I said that, to explore many unknown undiscovered parts of this space, and to find the proper mode of transportation. So Elon Musk thinks that Mars is best for human colonization. So but how he transport the people? So that is why he's continuously struggling with his team to find a better way of transportation that takes humans to Mars within less time. So he made large spacecraft, and the biggest rocket present on Earth, Falcon 9, which can take so much of payload at a time. So in that way he is struggling. Not only he, NASA is planning to send humans to the moon once again. So in that way every space organization is planning to discover mode of transportation. So that takes us humans to some other place. So that is very essential, because scientists found a exoplanet called Kepler B, which is very far. So in terms we can say that 33 lakh light years away. So to travel that far we can't go with Falcon 9 or International Space Station. International Space Station revolves around the Earth with a speed of I'm very poor at numbers, so don't mind, almost 60,000 kilometers per miles per hour something. So even with that speed also we can't reach Mars in not less than 3 to 4 months. So the main mode of the main motto of this is to finding a better way of transportation. Okay. Even there are so many new concepts called, scientists say this, we can create wormholes. Wormholes, anybody know it? Wormholes. See, if I am here, Yeah, exactly. So if I want to go to mechanical department, so I have to travel all the way like this. So what if I bend that space from here to mechanical department like this? So if I, see, if this is space, imagine this is 3D space in a 2D. To explain you, I'm telling this. Imagine this is a 3D space. If I bend this, so the distance between this point and this point becomes minute. And if I pinch a hole, so we can travel within a short time, within even seconds. So that is the concept of wormhole. It bends the space and make distance between 2 points easier. Okay. So scientists claim that wormholes are not natural. So they can be placed. If we find advanced humans like aliens. If we find advanced humans like aliens out there in some exoplanet, so I think they are much far advanced than us. No? So they might have known the concept of wormhole, and they can create wormhole to us to make us reach them and explore them. So in that way, wormholes is a mode of scientists claim that wormholes can be possible, but it's not sure. And one more thing is, the Japanese scientists, what they did, they are planning to build a space elevator. So how is the term space elevator? It's exciting, right? So what they are planning is, the Earth is rotating with some speed, and if you all come from the science background, so you must know the centrifugal force, right? So scientists are planning to build a space station outside the Earth and an elevator from the Earth in as a center, taking Japan as the center, so that the space station will also rotate around the Earth at the same speed of Earth, so that it will stay in rest with respect to the Earth, so that people can travel with that lift without any fuel and everything. So that concept is very interesting, but there are few technical problems, like Earth is surrounded by so many satellites. Millions of satellites are rotating, and that rope or the elevator may cause destruction to the satellites rotating. So there are few problems, but there are few possibilities as well. So in that way, one more scientist claim that they are building a rotating space shuttle. So instead of using fuel, the rotation itself will cause the motion, where we can even grow plants also. So these all are possibilities that scientists are claiming. In future we may experience them as well. So the next goal is to find resources. As sir mentioned, there are so many resources present in the space. For example, Jupiter is made up of entirely gaseous. There are so many chemicals, like I don't know exactly, but there are so many things out there in Jupiter. And for example, if you take a sun has helium in it. So there are almost every day there is a helium blast happening in the sun, which is causing the heat to the Earth. In that way, Venus, Mars and Saturn, Neptune, so many planets, not only planets, even the moon has few of the minerals and things that we need. We need to develop the advanced technology, but currently we don't have it. In our periodic table, there are only limited number of elements available, but if we can explore, if we can chase this hack of exploring space, we can have all the resources, so that we can build advanced technologies with ease. So the next goal is to find meaning of our existence. I won't stretch this. This is a basic question, fundamental question. So why we are here? That is, I want this answer from anybody of you afterwards. So I have this question every day. Understand the rocket. These all are rocket science only. It is not for the. So the name itself is fascinating, the rocket science. But these are all the basic questions. So now you got it. Now you have anybody got the difference between earlier and now? So why the space exploration is important? Instead of wasting money, it is not a waste of money, right? So the coming to results. So these are all the things I have mentioned are all the goals that we need to achieve. So now we have to talk about results also. The first result is we started with space exploration. Our first spacecraft is, can anybody guess name? No sir, not Indians, world. Yes, sir. It's a Russian name. It's okay. Nobody? Apollo is human machine. It's Sputnik 1. Sputnik 1. So, nowadays Russia and Ukraine are in the battlefield, no? In that same way, earlier Russia and USA are in battlefield fighting each other for the space exploration only. In that manner, Russia won the war and they sent Sputnik 1 to the space. After can you repeat? Yes, sir.
Some people say that's a fake story. It's not
Yes,
real.
sir.
And even after that, nobody tried.
Yes.
Right now, your presentation also what you quoted is USA again wants to land.
Yes, sir. Again wants to land recently.
So why again wants to land on Moon? They already landed on Moon. Why they should not land? Is there any controversy behind it?
Sir, I think see there are only 3 countries that landed on the soft landed on the moon, and India tries to soft land on the moon on the other side of the moon. Yes, sir, mission. So that is failed, sir. And recently Japan is also failed. So I think they want to soft land on other side of the moon. So they want to send people to the moon on the other side where other countries failed, so that we can explore directly. And I think it's the matter of their pride also, sir. And I think yes, sir. Only once USA has sent it, and until now nobody. I'll explain. Yes. So there are many theories, like they have seen aliens also, but I have read about it, sir, but I'm not sure why they haven't seen.
It is costly. It's not very much cost with the mass money on the mass. Mass is over.
Yes, sir. That is also one issue, sir. Sending. Yes, sir. Sir, actually USA has one secret agency called Area 51, sir. That there so many secrets are kept. So I think as per their claim, they have seen few UFOs and aliens on the moon, and they have warned us not to come again. So this. Yes, sir. Or one more. Yes. So one more possibility might be like landing is very difficult, sir. Once upon a time, it must be easy. It's also not easy, sir, but we don't know the exact technical problems.
That is the reason.
Yes, sir.
I'm not asking about any other.
Yes, sir.
Even though I'm not asking about Mars.
Yes.
So the landing on Mars happened.
Yes, sir.
So many countries tried and it is happening. It's not a problem. But landing on Moon, somehow US has shown. After which, not even the same is tried.
Yes, sir.
Not any other country.
Any other.
So that question
So,
mark is there. Why so much of controversies around this space exploration?
because sir, main issue is funding only, sir. As people are not getting proper food to eat, why spend billions of dollars on space exploration?
Countries like India, that's not the case with USA.
No, sir, even USA also.
They have so much amount.
Sir, but that is coming from the taxpayers' amount. No?
And that will be there. Even US also went down very low during some cases in terms of financial crisis, during financial crisis. But relatively, their funding towards the space research is very high comparing with countries like India or India or the
Yes, sir.
that is also okay. But once they have done it, why they have not continued? That is my question.
Yes. I'll find an answer and I'll try to give you the answer.
Whether is that right or is that
No, sir. I think there must be a technical problem, sir, that USA or any other country don't want to claim, right? that movie also the thing is highlighted. Then same USA people only will highlight that we have faked it um, to fool Russia.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then it's not Russia, then it's US, sir.
Yes, sir. But the scientists are claiming that it is true, no, sir. Neil Armstrong, the first person who kept. But the other scientist is saying that it is false. So many conspiracies.
Along with this modern education of astronomy of space, we have seen anything related to the old traditional Indian education of space exploration.
Yes, sir. Aryabhatta.
Not the modern era. Like you need to know after 1700. So whatever has been started, we call it as modern education, modern world. So before that, I'm asking about old Indian traditional. We have seen. Some people will say most of the things what India projects is a fake or a myth. But now with huge telescopes and huge calculations, supercomputers, now people are saying when we are going to have the lunar eclipse or solar eclipse.
Yes.
But this thing, especially in terms of eclipses or in terms of any other special events, so our ancestors used to tell it even very, very proper. Of course, that's also calculation. Now, did you explore anything related to this?
No, sir.
They don't have any telescopes anymore. They don't have, even though they don't have any. Now, what I'm trying to say is,
Even that is linked with the existence of our life only, because we believe that.
you ask a question, what is the purpose of? You don't get the answer for the question if you are going through modern science.
Yes, sir.
You might get an answer if you go through the way it is. Purpose of your work. So modern science, what they will say is this is just a Darwin theory. We are just changing. Life has started at some point of time. Gradually we are changing, and this is the same way we reach. And so according to the society which is going on, we will go through our life. This is what the modern science will say. How to go through our life. But the question what you point is a very interesting one. These are complicated topics.
Yes, sir.
Which are both directions. So try to explore both directions. Is another thing what now it is picking up old traditional Indian engineering, Indian science. So now it is picking up. Now people are doing so much of research on Indian science and technology. Old traditional. 500, 600, 1000, 2000 years back and mundu. That's called as a Vedic
రాలేదు, సైడ్ రాలేదు. సక్సెస్. Okay, attention please. So first one is we started space exploration from right from the Sputnik to the recent spacecraft. The recent mission is Orion. Nobody have heard about it, but the latest one is that is NASA is developing, that is Orion space mission. From Sputnik to Orion, we have evolved so much. We have developed new technologies. We have explored so many planets. And have you heard about Voyager 1 or Voyager 2? So that is the only spacecraft that reached far, even behind the Saturn. So it have reached the end of our solar system. So it is ready to go into the interstellar space. So behind our solar system. And so yeah, so that is about exploration. And coming to exoplanets, we have found few exoplanets like Kepler b, and there are so many other exoplanets as well, so which are in habitable zone, so which are possible to be our life if Earth is not. Okay, Mars is also in habitable zone, but as per my theory, it is completely my theory, nobody has stated it. I think there is some extension. Previously life is on Mars, I think so, but afterwards some disaster have happened, so Mars have become what you call graveyard. Okay, so life has completely vanished from the Mars, and afterwards again it is found on Earth, because they all the if you have observed the features of Mars, it have mountains, volcanic mountains, it have river like structures but no rivers. Okay, and so many things are there, even Elon Musk claims that. So it is a possibility that life is there once upon a time in Mars, but now it is in the Earth. Okay, so we found exoplanets and we are one step ahead. And coming to developing, we have developed technology for traveling. We have developed few technologies, even same Elon Musk, he is one step ahead than any other space agency. He developed the Mars. Yeah. He's the main reason behind Mars missions, and he also developed a new technology in this process. See, he is completely aiming for the space exploration only. In that manner, he developed a new technology that is very much helpful for Earth also, that is reusable rockets. The concept reusable rockets is very much helpful for Earth, because instead of wasting so much of amount on rebuilding the spacecrafts, so he came up with an idea of reusable rockets. So we can go anywhere, we can land there safely. Okay, so one more thing is, he is trying to develop a technology to create a fuel based on the elements available on Mars, that is hydrogen fuel or something, nitrogen, oxygen, Mars, nitrogen. So if that is possible now, so we can go from here Earth to Mars in the, it's a one-way ticket. From there we'll start our own production there. From the fuel available there, we can come back to Earth. In this way he can transport it. There are many techniques, and yeah, finally we are one step ahead to our success. The proof is we have beginning the colonization on Mars, right? So he claims that in coming years, nearly in 2030 or 2040, we will start colony on Mars. It is very critical, and it is, somebody say that it's not possible, but we are a step ahead than earlier, right? We have started, even through plans or through proposals, we have started colonizing Mars. Not only Mars, so many scientists have developed technologies to live on space as well. As I said, because of the centrifugal force, it will rotate and it will move as just like a planet, and the rotation will cause us to stay on the surface without falling, right? See, if we are staying on Earth because of the gravity, if the gravity is there because of moon, it is also it is all natural. Somebody, either the god or the unknown force that is leading us to live life. So what places is here, it is unknown, but somebody has kept it. So in the same way, scientists have developing technology using centrifugal force so that we can create artificial gravity. We can't fall from that, we will stay as we are, but the object will move because of centrifugal force itself, and it moves as just like a planet. So that is the latest technology. So proudly I can say that we are one step closer. Coming to conclusion, yeah, so my conclusion of this is, why space exploration is important? That is a question I asked now. So now, are you satisfied with the answer I gave? Is it needed or not needed? Beside all the things happening like poverty and wars, people are killing each other. If mankind is dead, what will do on living on Earth if nobody is there? If Earth is not there, where will live? Right? So somebody have to question it. Somebody have to take care of it. So it is the duty of scientists to develop the technology, but it is the duty of our engineers to help them to give the technology. So my main motto of this session is, currently, unfortunately, nobody is focusing on this astronomy, aerospace and everything. Everybody is going to software or any other technologies like that. So I agree that there is no aerospace engineering in MVGR, but there is no limit to what you call goals and aims. No? So I am all studying in MVGR college only, but I have always have a zeal to know about these things. So my main goal, my goal also, I want to be a NASA scientist in future, so that I can help our humanity, not India. I am not a regional, or I don't say that I will settle in US or I will settle in India in that way. I want to help my humanity, or I want to explore my universe. This is our universe. So that have to be the question from every student of every college, not only from NASA grads or Stanford, MITs or IITs and all. IITs only offer the aerospace program in India, but everybody have a right to know it. YouTube is there, Coursera is offering free courses. There are so many courses in Udemy as well. So there every year there are so many programs conducted by NASA and ISRO and everybody. So everybody have a question to write. Right from the beginning, you need to focus on that. So if you focus on these concepts called aerospace or space explorations and all, these are not, I'll say this, these won't affect your studies. You can, for passing the exam, you need just 24 marks. To need a good CGPA, you can study one night before. So that is my policy. I'll study one night before, I'll get a good rank, but remaining time I'll try to achieve, I'll try to do something regarding this, and I'll try to explore the ways. So how can I develop myself? So it is a duty and necessary to continue this space exploration. Yeah. And from this entire discussion, still there is one question that is not clarified, that is why we are born. We are born for a reason. So what is that reason? So we need to find an answer for it. If anybody have an answer, just text me. Reason for our birth. Even I refer to it also. So they'll refer to the God, but they don't say what the God name is. They'll say some force is behind us, but that is not exactly. So many people have so many beliefs now. Every religion have their beliefs, but ultimately they are leading to one point, that there is something behind us. So do you believe that aliens exist? Anybody? Yeah. So ask Elon Musk about it. Go to Twitter and tweet at Elon Musk. Not theory. One of the exam. Go to his Twitter and see. What he is claiming is developing technology. See. Record. Personally, I don't like ISRO because Indian organizations will run run based on the politics. Okay, there is no scope for, there is no scope. I'll, I'll sign it and give that there is no scope for youngsters in ISRO. If you need to score 99.9 percentile to get into IASC, but in NASA they don't follow that system. Even any student with good technical knowledge can enter into an intern. I am not an Indian, as a human I am talking. Is what? Yeah, just like there is no fault in following NASA. What NASA does is it takes interns from all the universities. If they find the right intern, they'll convert into graduate. But in India, there is no choice for internship also. There is a possibility for internship, but
NASA also sees the graduation.
mm,
So ISRO is also considering that only.
NASA has different process. And even I have applied for NASA and I've got a mail from them also. But in ISRO, I've sent a letter to them, but no reply until now. It's been 1 year. So there is a difference between that. There is a difference between. And in ISRO, what they do is they offer internships but based on marks. They offer graduation but based on marks. And even ISRO's chairman, they are in line. Hierarchy is there, some hierarchy. And at the time of space shuttle launches and PSLV launches and all, you can see all the white hats in the cabin. There are no youngsters and all. So that is why we are a bit slow. And I agree that we don't have so much money. We have technology. We have bright minds of of older generation. So younger generation need. That's not my point. ISRO has the capability to overthrow NASA also, but it is not giving enough opportunities for the youngsters of their own country. So what do they achieve with this? They must have to change their policy. That's it. ISRO is great.
You are saying Kepler is better than Mars.
Obviously.
So Kepler will take minimum light years.
That's what the question is. How you will go there? Mars is nearby. Even it will take 7 months. Kepler is in some light years away. We can't go there. If there is a possibility of, as I explained, wormholes or any space wrap, it is possible. These all are explorations going on. So we need to be a part of it so that we can achieve it someday. Clear? Thank you. This is the end of my presentation. I hope you gained some insights from me.